Bashar al-Assad in 2012 said, "No government kills its people unless it's led by a crazy person. In the name of God, He is the one who shows the most mercy. He is benevolent." When an impulse overcomes the will to live, it's named psychotic fugue. All instincts are based on the need for survival. To overcome the need for survival is a condition where the mind goes into temporary insanity. The brain experiences a mild seizure. The person is unable to stop an urge to do something. The act of suicide is the strongest expression of an impulse that overcomes the survival instinct. The person who commits suicide has overwhelmed their own self with self-destruction. The building of impulses that threaten the survival instinct will lead to self-annihilation. The refusal to transfer power by Bashar al-Assad has resulted in the separation of owners from their properties and put millions of citizens into an internally displaced status. Bashar has an irrational sense of grandiosity and over-entitlement, which are impulsively expressed. He compulsively uses lethal force against unarmed people. As the infrastructure degraded from aerial bombing, which he commanded, he did demonstrate the impulse to murder suicide. He shows a pattern of pathological compulsions to self-destructive acts, as well as rampage mass murder. These acts clinically define a dangerous instability of the mind, which will ultimately find a pathological outlet in the act of self-annihilation. Bashar commanded the execution of political prisoners en masse, which is the foundation of what it means to genocide. This is a genocidal dictator. Documentation of the execution of political prisoners has been collected in volumes never seen since the Nazi Party extermination camps in Germany, 1945. Russia has held the nation hostage by proxy through rejecting repeatedly the cessation of power in Syria and exhibits pathological dissociation from reality. A genocidal dictatorship must never be considered a sovereignty. An air bombing campaign on a civilian target must never be tolerated. We cannot protect from sudden attack and defend our freedom and security when we allow genocidal dictators to amass the resources and command an army capable of a massive attack. Dictators always resort to mass destruction. Iran has amassed weapons of mass destruction and publicly threatened to imminently use them. Iran has ambitiously invested in the changing of systems of sovereign foreign governments of the neighbor countries to the Islamic party system. Iran's capacity for trade power in the region has sheltered under the cover of war in Syria to bypass international sanctions. There are clear signs of unstable minds having command over weapons of mass destruction. They have shown desire and intention to use the weapons of mass destruction and have used them in the past. It has now reached the time when all lines have been crossed. The Russians have violated the United Nations Charter, which protects their sovereignty internationally. All knowledge belongs to God. Allahu Akbar. The liars will be losers. They will pay.